Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly video update. I'm Matt DeWolf, your host on this adventure. Hey, this is Tuesday, April 18th, and we are going to keep you up to date with what's going on in this industry, and we're going to make sure that you have at least one key takeaway, friends. So this week, here we go. Let's jump right in. We've got a couple of events for you. So the Car Wash Show is coming up in Las Vegas, May 8 through 10. When you're there, you got to check out the Big Bash. That's a kickoff party sponsored by OPW Vehicle Wash Solutions. That's going to be 3 hours of food and drink and bands and games and prizes. You won't want to miss it, friends. I guarantee you will not want to miss that party. Now, the other thing I want to make sure that you are aware of, we have a really special Car Wash Hall of Fame celebration happening on Tuesday night at the show. That's May 9th. That's going to be from 5 to 6:15 up on the Level 3 Terrace, a really beautiful venue there. And we're going to be honoring Frank Dorsa of Classic Car Wash and Manuel Lozano of Lozano's Car Wash. And so we're really excited for you all to be part of that. Make sure that you are up to date with your ICA membership. This is a members-only celebration, so check that out on Tuesday night. And then not show related, but another event that I think folks should be aware of right now is the Executive Management Institute. That's going to be taking place July 30th through August 3rd. That application deadline, though, is going to be coming up upon you before you know it. So start thinking about if this is something for you. It's an immersive 5-day experience at the Kelley School of Business, taught by the executive education faculty there. So super strong program. People have lots of great things to say about it. Hey, if you're not doing that, you still got to learn. And one of the ways that we make sure that you have access to great content and great inspiration and great insights is through our podcast. And so this week, if you haven't got your key takeaway yet, here's one.
I preach how to deliver an amazing experience to every customer. And people, amazing. How amazing can it be? We give them a car wash. That's not what amazing is. Amazing is, here's my simple definition. You are either doing one of two things. There will be times when you can go over the top and do something special, but most of the time you're just delivering the tiniest little bit above average. And what does that mean? It could be the friendly smile, the genuine, hello, how are you? Welcome back. Horst Schulze, the first president and co-founder of the Ritz-Carlton chain, talked about same thing I've been talking about for years, a little bit better than average all the time. And I said, how much better than average do you have to be? He said, maybe 10% better.
All right, so that's Shep Hyken. Shep is going to be speaking at the Car Wash Show. We also had the opportunity to record a conversation with him for our podcast, so check that out. That episode has dropped, so make sure you are up to date on that. Make sure you have a subscription to the podcast. That's Car Wash the Podcast, wherever you're listening. Okay, and look, here's what else we got going on. This might sound a little bit like old news, but I want to make sure that you didn't miss this. We've got, from our Champions Corner here, we've got Amplify and AMP. Series A funding announcement. So what does that mean? Well, AMP Memberships has received some Series A funding from Amplify Car Wash Ventures. This is a really great kind of partnership between these two groups where Amplify is really supporting what AMP is doing, and AMP is really hard charging on the scene here in terms of what they're bringing to the table for folks. So a really, really nice announcement there. In case you missed it, that's something worth making sure you're paying attention to. So, what else do I have for you this week? If you have not gotten that one key takeaway, and maybe you have, maybe you just want extra this week, here's some fun stuff for you from a recent visit down to Texas where we went and spent some time with Take 5 Car Wash. Hey everybody, it's Matt DeWolf, Editor-in-Chief of Car Wash Magazine, and your host of Car Wash the Podcast. We've got a special conversation coming up for you. We are standing outside of Take 5 Car Wash here in McKinney, Texas. Joining us today is John Teddy. John, welcome.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you having me.
We introduced you as Take 5 Car Wash. That's new, right?
Yeah, so the Take 5 name, we've really kind of started rolling that out heavily in back half of 2022. Our sister brand is Take 5 Oil Change. And there's a ton of brand awareness around Take 5 Oil Change and that quick oil change category, and we're going to try to keep building on the synergy of the Take 5 name, not just Take 5 Car Wash as a standalone from a category perspective.
The way that you all were kind of built, right? You had lots of disparate brands in lots of different places. And from an employee perspective, if I'm with that organization, I don't really know who I'm part of, right?
Creating that vision for our associates was really important to say, hey, I know it's been a journey. We've been in a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different places. We still acquire different brands and markets, and we want to be able to say from day one, look, here's who you're going to become. And I've got a ton of respect for where we've been and for a lot of the great brands we've bought and operators from those brands. And so we try to lean into their knowledge and their experience, but ultimately at the end of the day, becoming one brand is a really important thing as a company strategically and for our associates.
So, we want that experience, whether you're in Texas or in Florida or if you're in Minnesota. You want to be able to go to any one of our 400 locations with that bucket, get a nice, clean, shiny vehicle and be proud of it.
Well, and I think too, it's like as you build out these national brands, if you are looking at the facility and your location in Minnesota is different from the one in Florida, it won't be as noticeable for the consumer. But if you're in a market like here, like in Texas, and store 58 in Texas is different from store 22 in Texas, that's a real problem.
Absolutely. So we've got 25 here in the Dallas Metroplex that you can go wash your vehicle any one of those. So if you on the way home from work, may not be your typical washing site. So super excited to have all the synergies of all of our locations and all our sites.
So we're standing at what is the 400th location for you all. Crazy growth. One of the things that you have to do, obviously, when you come into a market is really connect with the community. Can you talk a little bit from a regional perspective how that works for you and how you make sure that that's an important piece of what you all do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we start with the Chamber of Commerce, talking to them, making sure that they know that we're coming, and then they'll help us spread the word to the community, right? And then once we're out on the ground, we try to do our best to get the service that the people are expecting from a Take 5 Car Wash. And then as we're doing more activities, we try to get with the cities to see if there's activity that we can collaborate with. If they need something from us, we'd be more than willing to give it and to collaborate with the communities that we operate in, definitely.
All right, friends, that was a really nice looking location. That brand new Take 5 has a really great mural on the side, both sides of the building, really leaning into their new brand there. So that was just some content from one of our most recent trips out. We love doing that. We love being able to tell great stories, and hopefully you all got a lot out of that. All right, so last thing for you, as we think about strategy, right? So we were talking in that video a little bit about strategy. Well, in the latest article to drop from Car Wash Magazine, what the is strategy? All right, so this is an article all about helping you really define strategy and think about it a little bit differently, right? So it's one thing to say, oh, let's be strategic. Let's have a strategy. Let's be strategic thinkers, right? So you hear this a lot, and people are talking about, well, we have to think bigger. We have to have a strategy in place. But defining that is really hard. This article helps you figure out how to take your strategy, define that, and make that about more than just a whole punch list of goals that you've created. So check that out. That's at Car Wash Magazine, the app, or it's in the printed issue of Car Wash Magazine, which, by the way, the recent one has mailed. And if you're a member of ICA, you're receiving that soon. Or, spoiler alert, if you come to the Car Wash Show in May in Las Vegas, you will also be able to pick up a copy of that for a limited time only. All right, friends. Hey, here's the deal. It's a busy week. You're going to be out there. You're going to be just killing it washing cars. And when you're doing that, there's really just one thing you have to do, and that is keep it clean.